Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Rosa, and on this channel we make plant-based food for you and your family to enjoy. So today we're going to make some delicious crispy fried tofu. So normally I don't like to eat fried foods, but on occasion me and my husband do like to indulge in something like salty and crunchy. I think we all do once in a while, so it's okay. But today we're going to make my special crispy crunchy tofu, which is going to have a secret ingredient in the end. I'll show you to give it that extra boost of crunch. Okay guys, and I saw this little secret ingredient floating around on the internet, so I thought I'd give it a try and try it with my recipe. So let me show you how I do that. So to get started and get everything prepped to make it easier for you, I made a few stations, okay? So let me show you what I'm talking about. So the first station is gonna be where I'm gonna soak some tofu in some veggie broth. And it's gonna be a strong veggie broth that I'll put it in here to absorb all those delicious flavors. The second station we're gonna make will be our flour station to dredge it in. And then our third station is going to be our chickpea egg station, okay? And I'll show you how to put that all together once we get that get to that process. I have 2 baking sheets lined, small baking sheets, and you can also do plates where this one will be once I dredge. I'll just set it here. And then this one is going to be after you fry your tofu, you'll be able to have it on paper towel so it can absorb all that oil, okay? So now let's get started. So you're going to need for this recipe 1 block of firm tofu, and this is a 14-ounce block. We're going to just take it out of the package. Oh, and let me not forget, you're going to definitely put this in the freezer first, overnight, or even for a couple days, and then unthaw it completely. And then we're going to squeeze out the excess liquid. A great tip in order to get your tofu to taste more a meatier or a nice texture is to freeze your tofu. So I like to keep several blocks of tofu in my freezer at all times. So next we're just gonna break it into some nice big pieces. I say about 8 to 10 nice sized chunks, about like that size. And we're gonna just put them on a paper towel while we get the rest of the station ready to dredge. This is gonna absorb more of that liquid, okay? All right, so for this broth soaking station, we're gonna add 1 cup of water, 2 teaspoons of veggie broth powder. It's kind of like bouillon powder, and you want this to be strong so it can soak up into the tofu and give it that nice flavor, like that nice flavor inside. Next step is we're going to put all that tofu inside the broth so it can absorb all the delicious flavor. And then we're going to squeeze it out. Well, we'll let this absorb it first, and then I'll show you. So you're going to press it in. This is going to make your tofu inside nice and tender. Okay, so once you press it in for like about a minute or so, it should have absorbed a lot of that flavor within the tofu. And you can let it sit for like 1 minute if you like, or 2, to get maximum flavor. So that's what I like to do. And then you just take it and drain off the excess. So after it's drained, we're just gonna sit them back on the sheet and make our flour. For the flour station, we're going to put 1 cup of flour, 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and a ½ teaspoon of pepper. Just give that a good stir. for our veggie chickpea egg, we're going to add 1 cup of chickpea flour and 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of cold water. And you want this to get almost to a consistency of a crepe batter, between a crepe batter and a thin pancake batter. So now that your stations are ready, let's heat up our oil and then go back and prep up our crispy tofu. So we're gonna add about that much. Just enough to almost cover the pieces of tofu. And we're gonna turn it on. I like to use a cast iron skillet because it definitely cooks the chicken, sorry, not chicken because it's not chicken, but it definitely cooks the tofu evenly, or anything that I cook in this pan, whether it's fried or just sauteed, it cooks everything really evenly. And a lot of you guys gave me that tip out there, get a cast iron skillet. Well, I got one, so thank you for the tip. Okay, so now we're gonna take the soaked tofu and dredge it in the flour. Get it nice and coated in the flour and put it back on the pan until we do the next step. So you want to make sure you get that flour right in every little nook and cranny of these tofu pieces. Now we do this dredge on this first dredge so that it will seal in all that delicious moisture from that veggie broth, so it'll make it nice and tender on the inside. Once you complete dredging your tofu, do not throw this away because we're not done yet. We have one more step to go. So now to our surprise ingredient, Rice Krispies. So you can use brown Rice Krispies or any type, okay, in order to give it that extra crunch on the outside. And I saw this tip, I think I was on Pinterest or something like that, but I saw someone use some Rice Krispies on their chicken, and I'm like, yeah, this might work. So let's try it. So what you're gonna do is crush them up some, get at least half of them, get them crushed up. Just with your hands. This is going to give that nice crunch. So let's get that all mixed into the flour. Get your hands in there, get them dirty. You know, if you're putting your hands in your food, you know it's going to come out good. So let's get our hands in there, guys. All right. So now what we're gonna do, let's switch this around. See? So now that we have our Krispies, our rice cereal inside the flour, we're gonna take an individual piece, dip it inside of our egg, our chickpea egg. So I'm gonna try to keep one hand wet and then one hand for the dry, okay? So what we're gonna do, let me switch sides. We're gonna dredge it inside the wet. Oops, I messed that up already. The wet side is gonna be over here. See how confusing that can be? And we're gonna toss it in the dry. I try to tell you and then I'm not doing it myself. Let's look at me. All right, then you're gonna just lightly coat it till you completely cover the tofu, so like that. And put it right back over here. Let's try that again. Wet side, kind of like wax on, wax off. Wet side, dry side. There you go. That's what I was trying to do. All right, get that completely coated on all sides, you know, with a nice light touch. There you go. Keep going until you got them all covered with the flour and the egg. Okay, so while we were prepping our tofu, I had the oil on a low medium heat now, and I turned it up a little bit more to get to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't have a thermometer on me, and it is good to have a frying thermometer since I don't fry as much. But what I do is take a wooden chopstick like I've always done and just put it in the oil and it'll start bubbling up, and that's when you know it's pretty much ready to start frying, okay guys? So what we're gonna do is take on individual pieces in our cast iron skillet, and we're going to fry each piece to about 3 minutes on each side. So once you get about, and you don't want to overcrowd the pan, okay? So put maybe about 5 pieces in there at the most, depending on the size of your frying pan as well. This is like a medium large frying pan. Alexa, set a 3-minute timer.
3 minutes.
So I'm gonna flip these ones over because it's not a complete 3 minutes. It's almost there, but I want to make sure it doesn't overcook on one side. And since I have a good amount of oil in there, it's cooking all the way up to the sides of the tofu. Look at that. So we're gonna do 2 more minutes on this side since it already was turned over before Alexa started. Take them off. Alexa, turn off timer. That one was a nice one too, man. They all look good. The thing ain't big enough to grab it. Alexa, turn off timer. So crispy. Watch. All right, guys. So it's all done, and it is delicious. I've already tried a little piece, but I'm going to show you guys what it looks like inside. Nice and juicy and tender inside, and crispy on the outside. And we're going to give this a try. Man, that's so good. Wow. And when I took it out the fryer, make sure you sprinkle it with a little bit of additional salt just to bring up that flavor some. But it's so good, guys. You definitely got to give this one a try. You will not be disappointed. And with that being said, I'm going to finish this and get me a salad on the side, probably get me a little sweet potato, and go ahead and have a meal and feed me and a hubby. So I will see you guys on my next video. I love you. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to be a part of the family, and give this video a thumbs up, okay guys? Now I'll see you next time. Bye.